In a pivotal Game 5, Luka drops 42 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds. Amazing performance by Luka. The Mavs had to get this game after losing 2 straight at home. The Clippers went into Dallas, packed arena, got 2 crucial victories to tie the series at 2. Then it went back to LA. And then pretty much whoever won this game, statistically the winner of Game 5, when the series is tied 2-2, goes on to win the series around 82%, I believe. And Luka was just phenomenal from the beginning all the way to the end. He struggled a little bit in the fourth, but they were able to hold on. Crazy numbers that he had. Let me just run some by you real quick. Luka scored and assisted in 31 of 37 of Dallas field goals. That's insane. He's basically their offense. He is the team. That's ridiculous. After 11 games played in the playoffs, Luka is second in the playoffs for points per game. He's only trailing Michael Jordan. Just ridiculous stuff by Luka. This is his 4th career playoff 40-point game. He's already surpassed a lot of greats over the time. All of these numbers just point to one thing. The Clippers have no answers for Luka. They had no answers for him last year. They have no answers for him this year. And barring an injury, they're probably not going to have an answer for him in Game 6 or Game 7. Luka is just on another level. It doesn't matter to Kawhi, if it's PG, if it's Morris, if it's Rondo, if it's Mon, if it's Batum, if it's anybody. It doesn't matter who the Clippers throw at Luka. He is going to get his. He's going to get others involved. He's a savant with the basketball. He's a less athletic LeBron James. He is the face of the NBA. He is the future, and the future is now. Luka just putting everyone on notice. Luka in the playoffs, Luka in the regular season is must-watch TV. Luka in the playoffs, you better stop everything you're doing and pay attention to the screen because this man is ridiculous. Every game that he plays, you're in for a ride. You're in for a lot of excitement. That game versus the Clippers was very fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. There's been a lot of good playoff games. There's a lot of good series. The Nuggets versus the Trailblazers. We'll touch on that one in a little bit. That one has been great. But for my money, this Mavericks versus Clippers series has been the best one. It's going to be tough for the Clippers to force a Game 7, having to go back to Dallas and win another game just to force it back to Staples Center, back to LA. Kawhi kind of disappeared in Game 5. He wasn't shooting well. He was 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, 7 for 19. Overall, just not a great game by Kawhi Leonard standard. Only 20 points, 5 turnovers. Very, very bad game. It was reminiscent of those last 3 games last year when the Nuggets eliminated them. I was expecting a big game from Kawhi. After showing up in Game 3 and Game 4 in Dallas, I really expected Kawhi to just squeeze the Mavs' neck and put them away. I can't criticize Kawhi for Game 3 or Game 4. He really showed up, and I just thought he was going to continue. He was going to suck the soul out of the Mavericks, but instead, it was Luka who was doing the soul sucking. He completely took over the game. Kawhi let the Clippers down today. He let me down. The Clippers did make a comeback because the Mavs started off hot. They took control in the first quarter, and the Clippers were able to stay close. I think they even had the lead at halftime. In the third quarter, the Clippers took the lead. And I got the sense from the Clippers that they thought the Mavs were just going to go away. Once they made a big comeback, once they were able to eliminate that 12-point lead or whatever lead, like double-digit lead that the Mavs had, it felt like once the Clippers had a 3 or 4-point lead after making that huge comeback, that the Mavs were just going to be like, damn, we blew that 12-point lead. We blew that 13-point lead. Now they're ahead of us. Like, it's a wrap. Let's go back to Dallas, and hopefully we win Game 6. And that was not the case. The Mavs went like on a 25-2 run at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, to just completely flip the game on its head. The Mavs play with a lot of resiliency. They don't give up Um, Draymond Green pointed it out halftime. He was talking about how their effort and how their mentality changed from Game 3 and Game 4. He pointed how Tim Hardaway Jr., on the first play of the game, he tried to dunk all over the Clippers defense, and that just showed the difference in mentality that they had this game, and how Luka dabbed them up, and he was like, "Hey, there you go, man. You got to give me something today. Like I like the energy that you're bringing already from Game 1." And Tim Hardaway Jr. showed up today, got 20 points, +6 in the plus minus department. He was a great contributor. He made some deep threes. And man, I'm thrilled for Luka. Luka is my favorite player in the NBA. I've seen him play live once at Oracle against the Warriors. Luka's the future, and the future is now, and it's looking dire for both LA teams. Can the Clippers go into Dallas and win a third game this series? Yes, they can, but they're gonna need more from Kawhi. They're gonna need more from PG. They could score. Both of them could score. PG had a pretty good game. He had foul trouble at the beginning, but to get 20 from Leonard, get 23 from Paul George in a crucial game where you need to win this to get control of playoff, take control of the series. You just expect more from Leonard. You expect more from Paul George. Reggie Jackson had a good game. He had 20 points. But Draymond Green made another good point where he's saying, why is Reggie Jackson shooting 16 shots when Paul George is 7 for 14, 7 for 15? Like, Paul George just needs to take over. One of them needs to take over. Like how Luka's taking over, they need to take over, and they're not. And for the Clippers' sake, they need to take over Game 6. But, man, if I was a betting man, I would not bet against Luka. See, he might be the best player in the NBA. But overall, Game 5 was amazing. If you guys haven't watched it, watch the highlights. Great game. Luka drops 42, 14, and 8. He's a savant. He's the future, and the future is now.